with us. So our hot topic today is about a father's love. Because a lot of times we see father-daughter relationships, and many people admire it, some criticize it. So we've heard stories where daughters refuse to go to their father's funeral or have negative things to say about their fathers. Others are so close to their father, they're almost like their girlfriends in the sense that they're constantly loving and hugging their fathers. But the few videos on social media in the last few days has caught the attention of Nigerians because we've seen different dimensions of a father-daughter relationship, and it begs for conversation. So one of the videos saw a girl, hopefully, I think she was getting married or something like that. She was wearing white on her wedding day, and she was admiring her father, you know, patting him on the back, patting him on the butt, talking about how good he looks, you know, asking him that he hasn't even complimented her. And people just frowned at how she was, you know, patting her father on his butt. And people just thought that was it didn't look very healthy. But in another video, we saw a father carrying his daughter on her wedding day. He was crying profusely, and you could see the emotions and how connected they were and how broken he was that she was about to leave. And, you know, it just brings back the memory of how a relationship of father should be. But in your view, do you think it's too much? Because some would say, that was a bit too much of crying. I mean, your father, why are you crying like that? That's a bit extreme. What are your thoughts on this relationship between father and daughters? Call us on the numbers on the screen, 081-0764-1679, 090-24-163-440. You can tweet to us at TVC Entertainment using hashtag YourViewTVC, YourView on TVC. We'd like to hear your thoughts. So, ladies, you've seen the video. I'm not sure our viewers have, but I'm sure our producers will probably run it shortly so that our viewers can see the videos we're referring to. But before the video comes on, let me hear your own thoughts. Let's start with the video of the woman patting her father, you know, around, and people just felt that was a bit too much.
A little much.
So what do you think, Nima?
So I am a daddy's girl. Okay. I did a lot of play with my dad. In fact, I never used to call him daddy. I used to call him D. And it was like a pet name for my boyfriend I didn't have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so whenever I call D, I get my money. D, you know.
For
and
real?
when we are gossiping, we'll do pow. We gossip about my mom. I'll be like, short people, you know, because my mom is a very petite woman. So I had a very unique relationship, and I'm looking at the video, and I saw the other one crying this morning at the daughter's wedding, and I just had flashbacks. Had such a, you know, I will be coming even as an adult in university, they're coming in, and the first thing I do is jump on my dad's laps. I don't even remember. I don't think I can remember. I can count on one finger of one hand the number of times I knelt to greet my father. I can't count the number of times I hugged and kissed my dad, even as he died. I laid over him, I pecked him, I hugged him tight. That's the kind of relationship I have. So when I see this girl, I do it to my dad. I'm like, hey, fine boy, you see hyping. You need to see on Saturday in the morning, you say, fine boy, see dressing, see your cap on point, bears on point, daddy, you fine. And I'll be saying, spray me money for hyping now, you know. So I had that flash.
You can relate to the connection.
I can relate.
I'll come back to you. Let me come to the ladies. I don't want to go first. BC.
Okay. So we all know that a daughter's first hero is the father, right? And if all things are right, that man would be the hero for the rest of her life. That daughters and fathers have a very special connection that sometimes the wife, the mother, would be jealous, you know. You know, and it happens, we understand that. But at the same time, and I also appreciate the sort of relationship that you have with your father. I have a bit of that too with my father. And I sometimes I jealous my children, the two girls, they are close to their father. I see the hugging, I see the pecking, I see the playing. At the same time, there are some boundaries they cannot cross. Because in my place, it is seen as a taboo. You cannot hit your father's bum in the name of bonding. There's nothing like that. It is wrong, and we must call it out. Because, you know, I remember we had a conversation here sometime about a young woman who wore the bra and pants, and she was dancing, and her son. Yeah, please. They are
completely different.
Please, they are the same. The only difference is this one wore pants and bra, this one wore a complete outfit. The tapping on the bum is the same. It's the same. So let's, you know, I always say, let's not be cherry picking the one that suits us to judge some matters. What is wrong is wrong. And I know that for some people or for some cultures, some things are not really, they're not taboo. Like I remember the first time I came to the West and I saw how some things were done. I'm like, this cannot happen in my place. as a matter of fact, if this happens, you will be excommunicated or, you know, cast away. But it was a part of life for the people in the new environment. And I sort of adjusted as time went by. But we need to separate it, because I remember even in the scriptures, and when it comes to sexuality, body parts and all of that, even God frowns at it. There was a part of the Bible where a father, Noah, yes, was, you know, drunk, and the children, some of them saw him naked. And they were cursed for that, and they were laughing, and they were cursed for that. So if that can happen, we need to put some boundaries in setting. So play the play you want to play, but you can't have access to. And if we had seen the man, so when I saw that video, let me not go too extreme. When I saw that video, I was like, has something been happening between these two people? Because I didn't get the vibe and I didn't get the energy.
Okay, let me come to you, Mariam, because when you see some certain relationships, because when Nima was talking, I could almost understand the relationship connection. There's some father that are just cool with their girls like that. So did you see anything suspicious in that, or do you feel that, listen, this is just a very platonic relationship with father-daughter?
Well, when I first saw the video, when he got to the hitting on his bum, immediately the prim, proper part of me was like, oh, no, that's not acceptable. That's your father's private area. I mean, from when you're growing up as a child, we say to you, there are some special areas. Everybody has it. Everybody, you know. So I thought it was quite cringy. But you know, the picture that Nima painted. So I can understand. The only understand is I can understand how you may get carried away. Especially it was such a momentous day. You know, it was her wedding, and maybe she didn't mean to get to the back and she hit him, but. That they got it. I wish they didn't put it on social media, because it did not look good. There has to be boundaries. We teach that for not just our children, for us as adults as well. It didn't come across as proper. Also, for me, culturally, even religiously, this is not the sort of interaction that people would commend or encourage. It will be frowned upon. And I agree with BC where she says, it reminds me of the video of the lady who was dancing with her bra and in her undies, and her child was tapping her bum. For me, it's the same sort of scenario. There's nothing wrong in having a cool relationship with your parent. There's nothing, I mean, hailing your father hailing you. People do that, it's fine. But we're just talking of some of the ways that they touch. Imagine also if the words that came out of the mouth, it's because we're so cool, I can even say some things to my father. You know, there are some things, we get to a point where we have to recognize that this is a parent and not a spouse. Do you understand? But this is a child and not your spouse. You know, there has to be boundaries, and that's what this is about.
I'm looking at this video now, and honestly, it looks fairly innocent to me. I mean, because it looked like a girl who's just playing around with her dad. It's possible she wasn't even checking to see if it was his pampers or something. This guy,
let me put in context what I meant, so that they're not the same. So you have two innocent, underage children. You're completely naked. There's a psychology to the kind of abuse that that woman didn't intentionally do. These are two grown, safe adults who feel safe with each other. The touching might not be appropriate to you, but it might not mean an abuse to the dad. She is the safe one. She's his daughter, full grown. Yeah. So,
is it possible she started off as a child?
Thank you. You're taking it off from the top.
I would not touch my father's butt. I never did.
Yes.
But I remember always, my father was a very fit man till he was about 45, 46. And I remember he started losing weight when he got the mobile contract. He moved to Eket. He was now chubby. So he'll come back and be working on his stomach every day. I said, Daddy, when did you eat? He said, don't like the way they feed us there. I'm losing, getting out of shape. And I used to say, don't worry. See, this is your big tummy. It's keeping my kids. When I start having children, you will lose your tummy. So you will see me come, what I will do is, I used to comb my hand through his beard. I can remember the feeling. It's so, you know, it was my safest place. No matter how bad my day was, when I get home, and my dad is just minding his sleep, I'll be my hands in his beard. Like, that's how I announce
It's different.
And I would be tapping his stomach and saying, don't worry, when I start having kids, your tummy will drop. You understand? Your tummy will flatten out. So you can have that bond with any individual. We as friends, we talk about some very personal things because we feel safe around each other. For a long time as an adult, I couldn't go naked in front of another woman. And I grew up with sisters. With my friends, I'm still all covered up. My kids are grown up like that. They're wired like that. They can't even be naked in front of each other. you know. But with time, you feel safe, you do certain things. I'm not excusing what might not be culturally right for your culture. But for these two playful people, they are feeling safe with each other.
Okay,
you know,
let me go on a quick break.
And that's their family thing.
Let me go on a short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation and open our phone line. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing this father-daughter relationship. And while you guys were talking, I was trying really hard to fight back my own emotions because I didn't have that. You know, I know my father loved me, no doubt about that. But there was no mushy, touchy, how? You know, it's one of those, you're hearing the sound of his car, you flee, you know? And he comes into the house, goes, you don't come upstairs into the room unless he calls for you. And you just kind of just walk in and stroll into your daddy's room and say, hey, daddy, touching his beard, are you okay? Unless he calls for you. So when he calls for you, he comes in and you stand behind, your hands behind your back and you don't look into his eyes. You know, he's a very, very strict person. So when I'm hearing these kind of mushy stories about father, I'm thinking, okay, it's shocking. Like, okay, you guys have a really interesting dad. But just
parents usually allow. My father had 5 girls. I had that relationship of touchy.
Yes.
The others, they have their own type of relationship.
Yes.
My eldest sister, I cannot imagine how to touch my dad. She doesn't even know like to. She just be looking.
Yes.
And everybody had their own type of relationship.
Child, right?
For me, I'm a cuddly person. I will cuddle. He wants to sleep. Daddy, I want to sleep here. I can't sleep in my room. Get out. Okay. So I grew up full adult sleeping. You just see me every night crawling to his bed.
I can
You
believe that.
crawl into your father.
To his bed.
I don't think I ever slept in my father's bed. Only except maybe he's not around. Maybe he traveled or something. My mom and I can then sleep on this bed or something. But for you to be invited to my mother's room, there must be something.
Special child for that.
Something must happen. So conversations are in the living room. His bedroom is fairly private. You know. So the point is that now would I touch my father? I touched my father's butt when he was ill and I had to take him up.
Cleaning up.
Cleaning up. Yeah. Yes, that's when I was cleaning him up and taking care of him. Then he was very old, but not as a young kid. What? You get a slap on your face. Easy. You know, but I love that relationship and I would like us to also understand it.
No, don't love the butt touching.
You see, I don't want to say that there can be a way you're so comfortable with somebody where you feel so safe. Maybe the hand went there, maybe it wasn't intentional, as you had said.
She has said that.
But
let me ask what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's a way you play with someone, you forget yourself, and it starts leading to disrespect. Unknowingly, you did not plan to disrespect the person.
Friendship, there must be
no, hold on now. Wait now, hold on. If he was out there with his chiefs and he looked good, and the daughter came to, daddy, you're looking good, and then touched the bum, and other people are seated there, how do you think they will interpret it? So to the dad, it may not be disrespect because this is how we play. But to other people who are elders in that place, like, you don't do that.
They will correct
And that's also why they will correct her at what age?
But somebody was recording, so she's comfortable enough to do that
but
because
does it make it right?
The person recording did not, obviously, I don't think the person knew that this was where it was headed. The person was just recording a father and daughter, interacting. For me, I think the emphasis here is not about the relationship between them. We're pointing out that there should be
boundaries.
That boundaries should be drawn and respected. And it should be drawn for children, for adults as well, whoever it is that you interact with. We understand and admire the beautiful relationship that father and daughter have, but we need to also understand when it's inappropriate. And that was an inappropriate gesture. That's all I'm saying.
So let me also add the conversation of the other father. So we're going to watch the video of the other father.
Just as a different...
Before you do that.
Vibe.
So this is the translation of what the conversation they were having. So she goes, are you the one getting married? See as you are looking fine. Turn around, let me see you well. Child, you're so fine. That's she's saying to him. And he answered, not if my money, say money in my pocket. That's why you're touching me now. You want to lift my pocket, Let me see you. You don't even get pocket safe. Then he laughs. He says, let me see you to her, that you don't even get pocket safe. Believing that, as a daughter, touching. Then he said, but you didn't even tell me that I'm looking beautiful. He then says, okay, you're always beautiful.
So he touched the bum to find the pocket.
Okay,
Same thing.
It's possible now.
The same thing.
I could check if there's a pocket on the back pocket.
It's even disrespect.
See, if you have not been in these shoes, you won't know this thing. When I want to lift money from my father, I will do like this.
I lift it when it's closer.
I will do like this. I will take out his wallet and be like, Daddy, this is a wallet, fine. You say, Nima, don't take my money. This was a regular conversation. Nima, I already gave you your allocation for the week. Don't take my money. I will be like, Daddy, wait first. I don't lift this money.
No, please.
I want you the video again.
Let me take Aisha as the colleague. Good morning, Aisha. Thanks for calling your live. Good morning, Aisha. You there?
Yes. Okay, good morning. I just want to contribute to the
Please
topic.
do.
Honestly, I wanted to call earlier, but I just wanted to watch the video first.
Okay.
To see what really happened. Really, what I saw in that video, morally, traditionally, it is not right.
Thank you, my sister.
I believe that girl grew up touching her father's private part before this. Because I see no reason why, if you watch that video well, you'll see a place where she even lifted up his shirt. That shows that she has been doing this right from smaller age. Like me, I did not have this father-daughter relationship that much. But then, I remember when I do makeup, my dad would admire me. He would be calling me, Inya. Dad is appreciating what God has blessed him with. But I dare not go to him and touch his tummy or his private part. That is why it is called a private part. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aisha.
Did you see that video?
Let me just quickly say,
it was
we've
too
seen these
smacks.
things.
It wasn't looking for money. There's a way you search and there's a way you do like this.
Is there
It
a
was
wallet
too
in your
tapping.
pocket?
Yes.
She didn't group him. She smacked him.
Yes.
She touched.
we're not
Wait,
separating it.
let me
Yes, there's
finish.
grouping, yeah, it's
There's grouping. I'm trying to say, plus conversation. Was she out to abuse? Was she inappropriately intentional?
Based on the conversation.
Based on the conversation, she touched his pocket. There was a pocket on the top she touched, and then when she touched it, she pulled it down. We see what we want to see.
And
I said, don't go and take my money.
Don't go and take my money.
See,
Don't be
this
watching me
is-
to take my money.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, all right. So please, everybody,
Let me just
wrap it up.
I would say, right, with videos like this and, situations like this, when we talk about them, really the intention is what is most important. And we do not know the intention unless we speak to these two people.
Yeah.
But because we're a talk show and we're, viewing a video, touching someone's private part is not appropriate.
Yes, it's wrong.
And that sort of touch is usually seen between people that are in intimate relationship, like spouses or lovers. So that looked like one of those sort of behaviors. If it's something that they do, it's good for them because that's their relationship. But it does not look good and it does not send the right message.
Okay, so now let's bring the other video where a father and a daughter. So can you also insinuate that there's something behind that
he was
by
crying so
hugging
much.
because he loved her so much and there's something that's been happening before because now she's going to now while people are discussing father-daughter relationship. Let's watch that video. A father and a daughter. See how
And
he's
the father
rubbing
could
her
not just hold his
shoulders.
emotions.
He's really rubbing her shoulders.
His hand did not go to the
He's
back.
crying, So if we want to see this as father-daughter love, why is it difficult for us to see the other as father-daughter love? This is
Where
also
their hand is.
where are they
Let's put
holding
it in
now?
context.
And see the
Where
mother
their-
said, the mother is just there.
Yes. So the what we're talking about right now is where your hand goes.
He's kissing her hand now.
Yes. That's kissing.
Yeah.
Don't you
Her
peck?
fingers
You peck
now.
your kids. Now your kids peck you. So you're hugging, that's okay. Your hand
This
did
is
not
the
go to your
Conley
private
family.
area.
She hug her mother
Calm
too.
down now. Your hand did not go to a private area. That's
not
what
touch
that's the
private
only
part.
thing that was wrong in that video. The bonding we saw was great, right? But it's just where the hand went to that we're saying, draw the boundaries. Because no matter how I play with my son, if his hand goes there,
Hand,
brother,
where have
we will pause in that play and I will address it.
Exactly.
So that he doesn't grow to become a man tomorrow and he sees me, hugs me, and he touches me. And people are now wondering, were they doing it before? There are some things you just
Go and
stop.
touch his friend's mother's
Exactly.
bum bum.
We play, we hug. Exactly. Thank you. Yeah, and there are actually boys that do that.
There's some people
say that
there's
we're
some people
hitting
that
her.
don't like your
We're playing.
situation. A father single-handedly raised his daughter and they
He
could
did.
get that close.
He was dating me
Says,
till at what age?
Yeah, so there could
You
be
know?
situations where you
Now
got to
smack
points
his
where
bum.
you are just
No, never. Because I knew there were boundaries. And so when he baited me to a point, he said, you know you're a big girl now. He now stopped entering my room. He stopped coming to the bathroom. He just understood that I was already growing and maturing. We kept that. But we're close. My wedding day, my father cried. Though he didn't weep profusely like this, but there were tears running through, running down his eyes. And, he was going to miss his best cheerleader, his cook and everything. He felt that emotion, you know, and when he prayed for us, you could feel that emotion. He didn't take away the fact that we don't used to play. We used to play, but there were boundaries to the play.
Yeah.
Because I was raised to understand some things that you don't do. Not just for you also, but we must pay attention to the people around us. We can't just do everything because
Let me take this call from Mary. She's been holding for a while. Good morning, Mary. Thanks for calling. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Mary. One instance happened in my house growing up. My aunties, their grandmothers, one stayed in Ibadan, one in Lagos here, and they visited coincidentally at the same time. And as they approached their elder brother, they were on their knees. And I come in, jogging around. I pecked my dad, and sat on his legs. And my auntie said, I will not put up with this. Nima, you can't grow up like this. And I saw him, he was quiet. They lashed everything. He didn't say a word. I was properly lashed because I know they look outside their enemies. My father would be giving sermons at a public event. I would throw the hadith and say, that's not the verse. So. As in, I had no limits. And so my auntie finished that one in Ibadan. She tear me apart that day. And when she left, my father says, you have been schooled on tradition. You're still my daughter. So special bonds are between two people.
Don't show us outside.
She might not have that bond with her mom. When I got married, my father didn't even shed a tear. Just sat throughout, slowly looking at me. And then I said to him, who will fall sick first? You fall sick, I fall sick. We were betting. And then he fell sick like 2 days after. I was like, oh, you fell sick, I'm not sick. And then I fell sick like a week after. That's what we used to determine who missed who.
Yeah.
That relationship, I wish everybody would have it. But in a lifetime, you might not have it with two. You might even have it with your spouse.
Yeah.
It might be just one person. It might be your grandmother. Just anybody.
Chika from Mina. Thanks for calling, Chika.
Yeah.
You're live.
This is my first time of calling.
Welcome to the show, Chika.
Yeah, I really like what you are doing. That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, according to from the video I just saw now, this daughter and father relationship, I don't think there's nothing bad in the video I saw. It's just they are very innocent. You are overemphasizing it, saying private parts. She didn't touch the front.
Okay. The back is not private.
Even the hip part.
No.
It was not hip. That's bum bum.
Where's the hip at the back?
Pockets.
That's the pocket.
She was looking for pockets.
Go ahead, Chika. Go ahead, Chika.
Yeah, so that's not the father's dress.
Allow Chika to speak, please.
Yeah. Hello?
Thank you so much,
Go ahead,
Chika.
Chika.
You know the thing you were talking about, what you do, and then your father said you were school traditionally. And I still
like
love
that.
you. While it was happening, he did not interrupt because he knew you needed to hear traditionally.
Background.
Also, I find it a bit interesting because you're also a Muslim, a hijabite as well, and your father an imam. Usually with Islam, you're more conservative in how you physically show each other. So that was your personal relationship with your father, but out there when he was, preaching, I don't think he would have expected you to.
Nima.
Yeah.
And my younger sister too would cross. When you go into a mosque, the women are on one side and there's a wall. My younger sister will now climb there and shout, "Daddy!"
Yeah. How old were you?
No, she was even then about 8 years old. She was more.
Yeah, there's something also that we expect of children. We allow children.
In Islam, you're supposed to be kinder to your kids. The Prophet ﷺ said to someone who was so cold that his kids would enter the house, and when he enters, his kids will be separated from the wall. That I don't know why you can't show love to your kids, and he would peck his own daughters. So it is encouraged Islamically.
Yeah.
But when we come out to formalities,
Exactly.
we see certain different things. So in my house, for instance, my father would insist on knocking on the door to approach his daughter's room. We had a girl's room. It's because of our privacy. And when you're in the toilet, he will ask, you say knock 3 times. I'll say that is for the outside door. Say knock 3 times. I still didn't knock. Even the day before he went into hospital before he passed, I climbed into the bed. I slept. We slept, we wake up. Because your daughters must feel safe with you.
And
now,
yet
it might still be very inappropriate because I never could smack his bum because there was still privacy, encouraged growing up. But I knew that I climbed. I did not even touch bum.
Do you know what? I want to
all over.
Yeah, we have to go on a break.
Oh, okay. I was
When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.